Today we're going to be showing you how to wire wrap a bead onto a plain link chain, but you can use the same techniques in this tutorial to make your own chains from scratch using only wire and beads. This is a really important skill all jewelry designers should have because you can apply it to so many other different designs. Now here are the tools and materials you need. We're going to be using 22 gauge half hard wire for this type of wrap because it holds its shape much better than soft ones. To make the loop we need one round nose plier and one flat nose, as you can see there. The round nose is to make the loop, the flat nose is to kind of flatten it. You also need a wire cutter too. I have two flat noses here in case I need a better grip or something, but really you just need one. So let's get to it. Okay, we're going to make the loop now, and start off by putting the wire onto the round nose and bending it into a circle. The size of the loop doesn't have to be perfect on the first try. You can still adjust it at this point. Just make sure you leave around a quarter or half inch after the loop to complete the wrap. I left a little bit more just so it's easier to see. After you make the loop, the size that you want, pull the chain onto it like this. Yeah, it's already blending in there. And then we're going to use our flat nose plier and grab the loop, just like that. Okay, let's get a good grip on that. Now we're going to grab the short end of the wire using a round nose or flat nose. I'm using my flat nose. Grab the short end and make a neat little coil like this. You should only be bending the short end. The other end should stay straight. Okay, so I'm going to just show you what it looks like with a single coil now, because after you do more than one coil, it becomes difficult to go back. So anyway, this looks good, so I'm going to continue with one more to make sure it's nice and strong. As I mentioned earlier, we're using 22 gauge wire, which is a bit thicker, so 2 coils is fine. For thinner gauges like 26 or 28 gauge, it's probably better to use at least 2, maybe 3 coils, depending on how much weight the wire wrap has to bear. Thicker gauges may only require 1 or 2 coils to be safe. Okay, so we're almost halfway there. We can cut off this short end like that. Just remember to always wear safety glasses because you don't want bits of wire flying in your face. Okay. So now part of the wire is still sticking out, and I'm just going to flatten it with my flat nose plier. Alright, so it's nice and neat. So now I can put the bead onto the wire, and after that we're basically just going to repeat the steps from before. Okay, so it's on there. Now the only difference this time is that when you're making the loop, you need to leave a little bit of space to allow for those 2 coils. So I'm just going to move it up there a little bit. Okay. Maybe not that much room, a little bit less. Okay. It's hard to see, but it's there. Okay, yeah, there you can see it. Alright, so again, you don't need to get it right on your first try. You can make your loop and then adjust it afterwards, before you make your coil. Okay, so now that we have the loop, we'll attach the other end of the chain. Okay, so get that on there. Now we're gonna grab hold of the loop with the flat nose, just like the first time around, and pull the loose end around. Okay, actually this time I'll just use my hands since it seems pretty stable. Okay, so I like the spacing. There's enough space for it, so I'm just going to go around 2 times. And after we have those 2 loops, I'll just make sure that it looks good, and I'll tighten it with my flat nose. And yeah, we're almost there now. So I'm just going to cut it here where the third coil would have begun. A little trick that I use is that I don't actually cut this end of wire because it's hard to get in there. I just leave a little mark. It's not enough to actually cut through, and then I just kind of bend it back and forth until it breaks on that weak spot that I left. Okay, so this way the wire that's left over is at the end is shorter, and it's easier to tuck in with the flat nose. It also wastes a lot less, so we'll have more wire for our next wire wrap. So did that, and we're done. Nice and even. Okay, so this tutorial took about 5 minutes, but when you get used to it, it'll take a minute each or even less. As you do more of these, your wraps will look more even, you'll become more comfortable with different gauges, and you'll work much faster. This is really a case of practice makes perfect.